Flipper Zero. They hack. They look cool. They're great for clickbait. And if you're studying IT or cybersecurity, should you buy one? TLDR, it depends on what you want to do. But in all seriousness, these little guys have become pretty popular. From TikToks of people setting off pagers in Walgreens to opening Tesla charger doors and many other activities that put pressure on the already burned out working class, the general public was becoming quite concerned. To the uninformed, this basically looks like someone playing Watch Dogs in real life. News reports were flooding in, countries were talking about banning it, panic was starting to ensue. However, despite the panic and the script kiddies, the Flipper Zero is a tool made with a specific purpose. And once you take that purpose away, you basically just have a toy. To better explain, let me talk about the limitations first. The Flipper Zero is mostly based on wireless attacks, meaning you have to be within range for them to work. For NFC, you need to be within a few inches, for RF and Bluetooth, a few feet, and a clear line of sight for infrared. And if you get a Wi-Fi dev board, you still have to be in range of whatever you want to attack. To not piss off the FCC out of the box, the Flipper Zero is neutered. To bypass NFC cloning protections, full access to sub-gigahertz frequencies, and expanded Wi-Fi attacks, you need to install custom firmware and do extra steps. However, modifying the Flipper Zero shows us exactly what it's good at, being a controller. With access to GPIO ports, you can create all sorts of custom devices that integrate with the Flipper Zero. From traffic light changers to Wi-Fi death rays to basically anything else on Peter Farley's channel. The Flipper Zero is a pretty powerful tool in the right hands. But then again, so is a phone or a laptop. A phone for the sole purpose of collecting fingerprints, hacking, is going to be a bit limited. See, smartphones inherently sandbox all of their apps, meaning that there's no way an app can talk to your hardware or access any of the other files unless the OS specifically lets it. This is why whenever you download an app, it always has to ask for permissions. You can bypass this with rooting though, so you're quite restricted for just the software made for phones, but they can be a good covert way to do some things. For example, no one's gonna expect an in-map scan from just someone casually browsing their phone. Oh, that's embarrassing. So embarrassing that I'm gonna change the scene and talk about computers. So here are two of my laptops, a ThinkPad T440p and a ThinkPad X390. Both of these are refurbished, and I paid less for each of these than I paid for the Flipper Zero. The T440p is just a dedicated Kali Linux machine right now. I mostly use the X390 though. In this clip, you can actually see me running an Android emulator and capturing packets and logs on the X390 because I'm setting up something that might be in a future video. But the information that exists within these packet captures and logs can be far more useful than a device that needs to be 5 feet away from the target to work. And that's not a dig on the Flipper Zero, I'm just trying to say there's use cases for each one. So when it comes down to it, if you're trying to learn more about cybersecurity, penetration testing, networking, software, etc., you'll basically have unlimited use from a cheap refurbished ThinkPad. If you need to be covert for some reason and you need a device that you want to do stuff on, you could get a phone with a custom ROM. And if you're more into the electrical engineering side of things, if you're an alarm system technician doing a physical penetration test, or you're going to be building some cool devices, you may want to get the Flipper Zero. Otherwise, it's basically just a $200 toy. Unless you're going to be using the GPIO, the use cases for a Flipper Zero are a mile long and an inch deep. Anyway, I hope this gave you some good information. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. And if you like this style of videos, subscribe for more like it. I will catch you guys in the next one.